What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Three Pyramids Network with your host, the Ignorant Eclectic Mad Genius. And today we are checking out Candace Owens. I know some people don't like Candace. But she's been on her little conspiracy theory bag and things of that nature with her friend, her former friend Charlie Kirk, who passed away, who was shot by. Never mind, I'm not gonna say all that. The timeline of lies, the Charlie Kirk case. Dun dun dun. All right, let me stop playing around. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, tell a friend, man. And with all that being said, let's do this. Candace, what you got for us?
At the event said that never happened.
What?
These are the Turning Point USA donors who have contacted me and said, Candace, that is AI. He did not say that.
What?
Now, they have alleged that they have the video of that. Why do they only play the audio? I obviously have a lot of resentment, particularly for Kash Patel, because of the Charlie Kirk situation, looking at what he has done, the fact that he won't hand over the documents and the theater of that.
Well, Kash Patel is allegedly, he got honeypotted. So, that's that.
The theater of how they came out and oh gosh, it makes me so sick. You have no idea how sick it all makes me to reflect upon just the fact that Charlie empowered these people. Like that, it makes me sick.
Well, I mean, look, I started watching, I had never watched your show until after he was assassinated, because I'm like, there's something off. And she knew him better than anyone else in the media. So let me see what she's got.
True.
But I've got so much going on, and it was hard to follow your investigation because there were so many moving parts, and I got to produce a show. And so I just kind of dropped off a little bit. But what were you saying about Kash Patel's refusal to hand over documents? I don't know about that.
So the trial, I'm obviously on top of it because I really do think that what they're so angry about right now, more broadly speaking, is that we're staying focused on things. We are designed to be an ADHD culture.
That's true.
Charlie died yesterday. I forgive him. Okay, everybody move on. We're all good. Well, let's move on. She's moved on. Everyone, let's forget about it.
What? People said they forgave him? I know people who still say, come, he deserved it. Hold on. I don't know what's going on with that. But
Epstein files. Oh, who are we talking about? The Epstein files? Okay, good. Let's move on. Okay, Trump says it's good, and you're MAGA, right? Here's some red meat. You're MAGA. Trump said it.
Here's a
Lancer the
squirrel.
king. Yeah. And we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And with this, I was like, I am not moving on from this. And so
but the midterms.
Exactly. We've signed up. We're getting the documents, obviously, but the midterms. And in this particular case, so they obviously I sat down with Erica and she explained to me they were sort of moving toward this May date, or where he hasn't even entered into plea yet, to be clear. And so in May, they're supposed to have this hearing, and there's limited discovery in that time frame, because one of the questions I asked Erica sincerely was, you're communicating to the public that you believe they have the right guy. So my assumption when she was saying that to Barry Weiss was that obviously she has access to more information than we have. Like, as she's involved in the case, she's listed as a victim on the case. Like, she can see stuff that we can't see. Maybe it's literally a clear video of Tyler Robinson coming out and shooting Charlie, like open to that. And then when I sat down with her, she was like, oh no, I don't have anything more than the public has, because now what happens is we have to move towards this May date, and the SBI, which is the
how would they have? There was their cameras all over. How don't they have that information? And we have still never seen the cameras that was behind him and in front of him.
Bureau of Investigations in Utah is the state investigations in Utah. They're going to go now find all this evidence that Tyler Robinson did it. And Tyler Robinson, then they presented that to Tyler Robinson's team, and they then build their sort of defense leading to this May date. Well, it turns out that Tyler Robinson's team files a document and says, we need to move this date because we have been asking for Kash Patel, who should not even be involved in this case, mind you, it's a state case, to release the information to us, to give us these documents to his defense. So they're like, they haven't even given it to Utah. Forget SBI. They hasn't given it to the SBI. The defense doesn't have it. And they're like, how are we going to have this hearing when they're going to get up there and essentially put on a show trial and say, Your Honor, look at these messages, where they're like, we don't even know those messages are real.
That's crazy.
Right? So imagine we're moving toward this date, and all they have is what Kash Patel told us in the first 48 hours, but they will not give them the discovery on that. They won't give them. So like if I say Anna texted me and said she did it, and that they want to say that, blah, blah, blah. She hasn't even been able, the defense has not even been able to access Tyler Robinson's phone. They haven't been able to see the gun. Nothing.
Wow.
And what's holding that up?
That is weird. And also, what's up with
holding that up?
the arbitrary May date, right?
Yeah, and that was the thing. They fought back immediately because they were like, we want to make sure that like we get the discovery that we're asking for. And the judge was like, oh, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. By then in May, if we need to bump it, we will. And they all kind of agreed to that. And now that May is upon us, Erica's team, because she's a listed victim. So when I say Erica's team, I mean literally she's a victim in this case, is fighting them. They're like, no, we want to keep the May date. And I'm like,
That's so
why
weird.
would you want to keep the May date? And I've instantly alerted the public to that. I'm like, they are not giving them. We have no idea of these shady messages. Did Kash Patel, after a few beers, type them up? We don't know. We can't say no.
That's so weird. You know what? So when it comes to Erica's behavior, like I will admit, like some of her behavior is odd, right, and off-putting. And
That's an understatement.
I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I wonder if, her insistence that it's Tyler Robinson and nothing else is shady and like we need to pursue this prosecution, it's definitely him. I wonder if it's because, when a family member of yours gets murdered or killed or harmed in some way, usually the family members want closure so badly that they, as soon as there's a suspect, they want that suspect to be the guilty one, and they just go for it full force. And maybe that's what's informing her decisions to kind of pursue it the way that she's pursuing it. I don't know, but I will.
No, the fact that she wants the recognition and power. I mean, all you gotta do is just look at her after rest in peace, Charlie. I know people probably kill me for that, but I mean, he's still a human being. But yeah, I know people. How am I trying to say this? Basically, the way she jumped out in front of the cameras and was doing it like a fucking a music video back in the day with the sparklers, honestly getting on with individuals that Charlie Kirk denounced and didn't rock with, and I'm talking about Nicki Minaj or whatever, like that whole little stand thing, like it just all looks super super weird.
I'll say this. I don't know how it would behave, to be honest. Like I just think about how much I love my husband, and
Oh,
I
that's beautiful.
I don't think anyone would see me for a few years. Like I just would not be able to go public. I wouldn't be able to have the strength to even talk in public about anything. And so that stood out to me about her, but also she's a different person than me. So I just people do grieve differently. I just know that the case itself has a few elements to it that raise some eyebrows. Everyone in the media that's critical of you is like so vociferous that it kind of
Ooh,
gave me
that's a sexy ass
the
word.
idea that like the general public isn't with you, until I told female family members of mine that I'm doing your show, and they're just like, oh my God, I love Candace. I watch her every day. And I'm like, really? You're not mad at her because of the whole Erica thing? They're like, no.
Hold on, I gotta see what vociferous means. What does vociferous mean? He was vociferous. See the definition, fool. Opposition of takeover. Oh, okay.
Oh, and I'm like, really?
Huh.
Like I couldn't believe it. So
Yeah.
clearly what you're seeing is something, and I mean, the numbers in your show, like it's very highly viewed. Okay. So obviously the people agree with you that there's something off. And I agree with you that there's something off. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I think that what you're describing is the process that we all went through, because you don't want to even go down that route. You're like, maybe
Totally.
it's this. Maybe in my head I was like, maybe she's being blackmailed. Maybe she's scared they're going to kill her. Maybe like you said, she just
That's
wants
true.
a quick conclusion to all of this. Maybe she's still in shell shock and is actually not controlling anything at Turning Point, was my initial suspicion. And just on paper, she's CEO, but she's actually just home crying every day, and like behind the scenes, like, Tyler
Yeah.
or Justin.
That's what I
went through
thought
that
at
whole
first.
thing, and for me, I never wanted to arrive at Erica being suspicious. I abstained from the like oh, she's wearing hot pants with JD Vance. None of that matters to me
Yeah, I agree.
because I don't think people understand I needed it as a part of my grieving process not to accept that plausibility because then
True.
for me, beyond just having lost Charlie and having to wake up to then I then had to wake up to the idea that Trump betrayed him in a way and Kash Patel, everyone is betraying him and not wanting seeking more investigation. What I had to go through to pursue that I had to grieve again, right? Because
Mhm.
I knew how much Charlie wanted love. Like,
Mhm.
I have these messages, like, I was helping Charlie draft text messages and what should I say? So, I had to grieve again and
Mhm.
go, "Okay, I
Mhm.
need to, like, really just follow the facts here," and that's all I've done, and, it's landed me at she's remarkably suspicious, not because of the way she dresses, not because of whether or not she's crying enough, all of that kind of paints a picture that makes people uncomfortable, but just objective
Yeah.
lies that I can't comprehend. Why would you lie and tell the public? And I think for me, the most explosive one that no one wants to address by calling me a monster. Why would you lie and say that the surgeon told you or told Andrew that
Mhm.
he had a Superman neck and all of this stuff that objectively did not come from the surgeon? It came from Erica. And why would you lie and tell me that Andrew went rogue and sent that message when you did it with him? I
How did
can't
you
make
find that
sense of
out?
that. A source, a
Wow.
source, and I trust the source.
Hey.
And obviously, that's a strong statement to make. And so when Erica first said to me, I also didn't believe her, right? So when she said, "Oh," I said, "What's the Superman neck?" And she said, "Oh, well, Andrew went rogue." And then I said, "The surgeon went rogue though and talked because the surgeon violated HIPAA and Andrew went
Yeah,
rogue."
that's a good
And
point.
beyond having the conversation, Andrew then tweeted without your permission. Like that's a lot to have had to happen. I don't believe that the surgeon violated HIPAA and
Yeah.
spoke to Andrew without your permission. And I said that to her face. I said, it's a tough one for me, but okay. And then I got the information that no, Erica actually called the surgeon. It's a three-way call, and she wanted to know what to tell the public about why the bullet didn't go through. And that Superman neck thing came from her. So yeah, the public was told from Andrew's
That's
tweet. So I'm
crazy.
like, I can't. Somebody just defend it. Somebody just tell me why that shouldn't completely unnerve me.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Donors, another huge one. Where like these are my two biggest things. Donors saying that that video that or hasn't existed yet, the AI
Mhm.
alleged AI of Charlie saying, "I appoint Erica to be the CEO." Well,
Mhm.
Erica told me that he said that at an Aspen event. I was like, "Okay, great." Well, the Aspen people who were at the event said that never happened. These are the
What?
Turning Point USA donors
Whoa.
who have contacted me and said, "Candace, that is AI. He did not say that."
What?
Now, they have alleged that they have the video of that. Why did they only play the audio? And then when I said, "Hey guys, this is not normal. It doesn't actually really sound like Charlie. The
Mhm.
cadence is
Oh
somewhat
shit.
off." And I said, "Okay, so just drop the video so we can all put this to bed." Not only that, people at Turning Point told me that he never said that at this event. Okay, so what am I left to do? You guys mentioned this to the public.
So basically, she's been lying this entire time. Okay. Yep. Yeah, she's just been lying this entire time, and Turning Point USA turned in on itself. Because I don't know if y'all seen. I know they had that little Super Bowl thing, the white super or like the white halftime show or whatever, where they had Kid Rock and everything else playing. At first, they had what I think. Well, it said that they had 6 million views or something like that at the halftime show. Because everybody else was watching Bad Baby or not Bad Baby. What is buddy's name? The Spanish guy. Basically, they like, yo, we got 6 million people watching or whatever. And honestly, after doing a little bit of Googles and shit like that, it was all fake. It was all botted views and everything else. But I was like, damn.
You said that Charlie, 2 weeks before, I guess, had done a complete 180 on his entire life's perspective that women should stay home and raise the
Mhm.
children and not be CEOs. And suddenly he was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Actually, not only should women do it, but single women should do it. Widows should do it. And the kids should just be raised by the nanny and they should work 80-hour weeks.
That does seem uncharacteristic of Charlie
It's
Kirk.
completely
And that was one of the things that I had. I was just like, yo, why aren't you like, why wasn't she with her kids? Why was she literally in the spotlight 24/7, 365? And then some other things came out after the fake assassination attempt of the like little ballroom or whatever. and I guess she had took a picture with I guess her date was a black guy or something like that. And boy, when I tell you some of the good old boys was calling her a slur that I don't know if I can say on here, but it has to do with a shark. And you know, when it rains outside, you got mud. Yeah. Other than that, I was just like, holy
Really uncharacteristic of everything he's ever said.
In fact, one of the last
it was
conversations I
crazy.
had with him was at the Democratic National Convention. And look, I always appreciated the fact that he was down to debate, right?
Yes.
And that he didn't ever let it get dirty. Like,
Mm-mm.
and so I appreciated that. And so we started debating about the role of women. And he basically said, because I don't have children,
Is
I
that
don't plan on
fucking
having
ET in the
children.
background?
It's just a decision that me and my husband made together. And honestly, I don't think that I have the right temperament to be a mom in today's society, because I will definitely kill people
Mhm.
if they come anywhere. Like what they're doing to my husband right now, if they tried to like harm my kids,
Prison.
I would
can
be
make
in
myself at
prison.
home.
100%. I don't give a damn. That's how I
That's
am.
me.
I'm like fiercely loyal and defensive
Mama
of my
bear.
family. But anyway, he told me, well, you know, if you don't have kids, you don't really have a stake in the future of this country. And I just remember being very offended by that, because I love this country so much, and I definitely do have a stake in the future. Like I have young, you know, nieces and nephews that I love to death, but even if I didn't, I love the people of this country. Like I want it to succeed. And so in that conversation, he like really
I was about to say
reiterated
something.
what he believes the role of
Good,
women should
good.
be. So then after he gets
Keep
assassinated,
myself
and
safe.
you don't really question it at first, because you don't want to be that guy or that
Mhm.
person who's just like, I don't know, that sounds a little shady and weird. And you go along to get along. That's a good example of a story where you go along to get along. But yeah, there was this feeling within me where it's like, well, maybe he was willing to go against his beliefs or his values because he wants to make sure that the business falls in the hands of a family member, right? Maybe that's why. But I do find it strange. I do.
But it goes against common sense, because not only the story we're being told is like, specifically, he said, if anything ever happens to me, meaning like if I get killed, I want my wife to be the next person that gets into the line of fire while my kids are at home. Like, what? Like, no.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Actually, your instinct is then, no, shut this down. You go and move and stay away from politics forever.
But they couldn't do that. Turner Point USA was making way too much money. They were way too influential on young white men in America, and a certain couple group seen what was going on, and then when they couldn't continue to get their hooks into that individual, they took out Charlie, you know, allegedly.
And
Right.
protect our children. So it defies common sense. And I know what Charlie's perspectives were, obviously, the life that he wanted and what he said every time anybody asked him on his podcast. I mean, we have a decade of Charlie saying what his perspective was on how women should stay home and there's no value in becoming a CEO. And then suddenly it's whiplash, and we're told actually right before he died, he just had this amazing 180 that it was a private donor event.
Yeah.
And now the donors are saying it didn't happen.
That woke
And that
me up.
is AI. Okay.
Wow.
That's a very big claim that I am making, right? And I'm not making that claim, by the way, the donors are. And they're contacting me and saying this never happened because they couldn't believe it. Because they said they were watching my
That's so
podcast.
crazy.
And when they had
Think
heard it
about it,
initially, when
bro.
Erica told the
That's
story to
super
Megyn Kelly,
crazy.
they thought, oh, it must have been at the Hamptons or whatever it was. And then when I said it was Aspen, they were shocked. They said this
Wow.
absolutely did not happen. So if I'm lying about that, wouldn't you, if you're Andrew Colvett, instantly say, oh, here's
she
the
dropping
video,
names.
Candace? Like, I
Mhm.
don't know, maybe the donor forgot, but here it is. And now we're suddenly going, why didn't they drop the video?
Yeah.
Like, they had her walk out to the audio. That would have been a very powerful. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
You have a video of Charlie on stage at an event, and he says, like, I want Erica Kirk. I appoint Erica Kirk to be the CEO.
Right.
Like,
I
people
mean,
would have not
case
had a dry
closed.
eye in the place. We would have,
Yeah.
I think it would have, like, even more made people rally around her and said, like, okay, I don't love it, but, like, it was like Charlie's dying wish.
Yeah.
And instead, Blake Neff says, we're never dropping the video.
That's so weird.
It's bonkers. And
That
so
is bonkers.
there are real things that are compelling me to continue this pursuit. I'm not interested in the vanity of, like, her outfits or her makeup.
Well,
And
you're under tremendous fire right now. I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, people in the media are really going at it, like just trying to, attack you for being cruel and going after Erica. And like, I do think that they put words in your mouth sometimes and say things that you didn't actually say. But, you know, the other thing that, I mean, look, you tend to provide receipts when you have them, right? And so everyone was denying what you were saying about the very real pressure campaign that Charlie was undergoing. And when you released those text messages, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a big deal.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that it's definitive that there's like a connection to his assassination, but just knowing what he was going through personally behind the scenes in the months leading up to his assassination is information that maybe the FBI should be pursuing, no?
Or if you are the wife of Charlie Kirk,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't heads be rolling? Like, would I like the
100%.
last people that would ever have a platform at Turning Point USA, if I was at the helm of it, were the people who stressed him out, who pressured him, who
I would
like,
go to war with Josh Hammer.
Josh
Okay,
Hammer.
if that were my husband
Yeah.
and Josh Hammer was lying about what my husband actually believed, I would be at war with him.
Right.
Till this day.
Immediate partnership with all of his enemies.
It's crazy.
I
Yeah,
can't
that
make
kind of
sense
stuff
of that.
is weird.
I
That kind
can't
of
make
stuff is
sense
weird.
of that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Ben and Charlie hated each other. Like it's like just a known thing in politics. Like they just never got along.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like they all, unfortunately, Charlie was just a pawn in their bigger scheme, and he got big enough to be bigger than the program. And they said, "Oh hell no, and you not folding? Oh, you bound to drizzle, my boy. We gotta take you smooth on out."
And then he's opening. And it doesn't make sense to me, setting aside my personal feelings for Ben, which were always in line with Charlie's because of how he behaves behind the scenes. How do you explain that?
Yeah.
Like he comes in with $1 million check, sits in a chair, and then just says, "Not." Like it's like that doesn't make sense to the public because a normal reaction to a loved one is everybody who caused them grief, who put pressure on their donors, who. How about me having to be the one to tell people that he the night before texted and said that he thought they were going to kill him. And not only that, but she explicitly denied that on Glenn Beck.
She did deny that.
Until I clocked it and said, well, Andrew Colbert told me that he was one of the ones that received it. And then it became the story about, oh, maybe it was in Telegram. Dan Flood received a message as well. It wasn't on Telegram. It was on iMessage. So who deleted it? Or were you lying? Or did somebody delete it? Okay. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe someone took his phone in between and deleted all that. I don't even know why you have his phone, actually. I feel like that should be in evidence. But it becomes increasingly hard that no one is attacking the substance of what I'm presenting. They're just saying, like, how dare you? How dare you keep telling the truth about what Charlie was going through? How dare you present to the public that he did not die a Judeo-Christian and that he was angry with how he was being treated?
Well, there was one other thing that I thought was interesting, right? The audio of Tyler Robinson's grandfather. Remember, Tyler Robinson allegedly was like turned in by his family. His like family knew he was guilty, and no, it turns out his grandfather, whose weapon he allegedly used, right, to carry out the assassination, was there at the trial defending his grandson. But we were all led to believe that the family, knew that Tyler Robinson is guilty and are not supporting him in this process.
Everything has been a lie, and I've told the public that I'm like, when this case gets going, you're going to see that everything's a lie, and so we are left asking the question: is why are they lying? And I'm sorry that we're rational thinkers, and we are seeing how
I don't trust my government. Like it's that simple. I just don't trust the government. That's where we're at.
I mean, and if you've seen what has been going on, where they want to officially make the U.S. and Israel's like armies like together, you got me fucked up, dog. Like, why are we allowing our greatest liability to continue to hinder and harm us and actually harvest us? But that's just a conspiracy theory, and that's all just alleged.
So I feel like anyone who doesn't have a healthy dose of skepticism needs to get some, okay? Because
BB's radical denials when no one was pointing the finger at him was also kind of just like weird.
Yeah.
I didn't kill Charlie Kirk. I didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Why are you saying that right now?
I know, that was pretty wild. First of all,
Candace,
why was he on a U.S. media tour on the day that he got assassinated?
Mhm.
I don't care what Netanyahu thinks about anything that happens in our country at all. He should be in prison for the rest of his life as a war criminal, because that's what he is. Why are we hosting him on media shows here in the U.S. to chime in on Charlie Kirk's assassination?
It's bonkers.
I have resisted, but like allowing myself to believe that there's like a wider conspiracy, because you just don't want to believe it. But I will say this, nothing adds up. Like, this whole situation doesn't add up. And I do find it very strange that the person who wants to ask questions, and look, you might pursue threads that don't go anywhere. And I think people have a problem with that, right? They feel like, oh, you're incriminating individuals who are innocent. Like, that's the big argument I hear against you. But I don't think you'd be pursuing this if you felt like there was an adequate investigation being done. And I myself agree with you that there isn't an adequate investigation being done.
And he went toe-to-toe with Bibi and he won over the Iran war. And I think that people have to understand that. We're sitting here talking about how he feels nothing as he mass murders children. The way that he lies is also, there's something so psychopathic about it when he just gets on and pretends he's perpetually the victim. And
that whole, never mind. That whole thing is just, yeah. It's a lot wrong. Yeah, God's chosen one.
No, and he's just killing people all day, every day. He's a homicidal maniac.
I know.
Who is supported by the halls of Congress, who gets a standing ovation when he walks into Congress.
It's disgusting.
So if that's possible, if it's plausible for these people not to...
Because he has everyone by the collar. He has dirt on everybody. I don't care what nobody says, bro. He has dirt on every single last one of those individuals. Just look at the stuff that happened with the Thomas Massey man, that political race. How did he lose? How did y'all get all of these individuals out of nowhere? Come on now. And then I think it was like $17 million was donated to that individual that beat Thomas. Come on, brother. Like, things that make you go,
who want to spit in his direction when he walks by them, then we have to imagine that. Would you think you'd have an issue like doing something to Charlie Kirk? It means nothing to these. And I'm not saying that we have evidence that Bibi Netanyahu did, but I am saying that the way in which he reacted, and me knowing how they wanted this war so badly, and that Charlie at first stood in the way of it, literally like debated and got Trump not to do anything more than that limited a military operation when they bombed Fort Howe, and the other was at Natanz, the other nuclear site, and Bibi was pissed. And then we fast forward, Charlie's out of the way, and what are we doing? Everything Bibi wanted to be done. So,
hey, boy, I might have to go ahead and check out this entire. I don't know if it's an entire podcast or what, but yeah. Listen, I know y'all don't like I know a lot of people don't like Candace, and there's reasons. Candace is a smart. Oh God, she's a smart individual, but also she literally she be doing some stupid shit, bro. Like, I'll be honest with you. But hit that like, hit that subscribe, tell a friend, man. Let me know down in the comments down below. Are you a fan of Candace? And if so, let me know. And if not, let me know why not. You know, I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace.